to manage.
But I
We are in the Rotary India Masterclass. The topic is not exactly a Rotary India technical topic today. Uh, it's more of a variety here. So, in terms of how we can actually take advantage of tools like LinkedIn in Rotary. So, that's going to be the topic. And actually, I would like to call upon Pinky ji. Pinky Patel is the Rotary, there is Regional Public Image Coordinator for Zone 4, and Pinky ji will talk about today's topic, and then we'll have our speaker Shweta. So, Pinky ji, over to you.
Thank you, Naren, and good evening, everyone. This is the first masterclass I'm attending this year, and I'm seeing many new faces. So, to talk about LinkedIn, shall I talk about the LinkedIn, how it is useful, or the social media at length, how it is useful for public image? What is the preferred this thing subject, Naren?
Pinky, whatever you think, right? You please carry on.
Okay, so talking about public image and social media, it's like a coin. I was just talking to Naren that I am one coin with two sides. One side is Rotary India because I work since inception, and other side I am Artpic. So it's one person but working for both. And public image also serves the same thing on social media, because whatever we post on social media, it is a reflection of our thought, it's a reflection of our work, and uh, how people perceive our work, how people think about us. That is exactly what it is mean. Just I was thinking about LinkedIn, how it is useful to our organization, because we all are practically 80% of our Rotarian are business person or working somewhere or working for someone. But by and large, this is the era of networking, and everyone is probably on the LinkedIn. How is it useful? So I was just thinking that if I have probably X number of networking people on my LinkedIn profile, then if I keep on circulating it to as many as people possible. So we may have in my profile, I may have some CFO, some owner of the company, some CEOs of the company, and it can help to our corporate membership, our membership and CSR funds, and of course, they can be a partner in our service. So it is win-win situation for both the company, because the companies are looking forward for CSR funds. I can see some DRFCs over here, and they'll agree with me that they are looking forward for the organization like Rotary, who can work and for CSR grants. And we have exactly the same pattern as what is been prescribed in for the CSR, and our focus area that are matching. So talking about image and CSR, I would like to talk more on that, because recently we have had one experience of one company through LinkedIn. We could connect to them and from my club. And fortunately, that company's CEO became our member, who's a golfer. And eventually, he donated some funds, CSR fund, for one of the schools, which it is under construction. So we could use the CSR fund for construction of the school. Otherwise, by and large, we are not able to construct anything from the global grant. So this is a success story of the networking, how it works. And uh, there are too many things for social media. I would say there are many types of social media. But few things what we have to keep in mind while posting is first of all is the photograph what we post. To be honest with you, by and large, I mean 60% of the photographs contains more of a Rotarian than the beneficiary than the project. This is my experience since past 3-4 years, which I have been associated with Rotary India. So it is very, very difficult to find out that what exactly the project is. Like if you post something on Instagram, it is more of a photograph. If you post something on a Facebook, you can still write up, but on Instagram it is shorter. So if we have just 10 Rotarian and project cannot be make out what it is, it will give a negative impact, or probably people are not very much interested to see photographs of somebody else. If I am there, I would like to see my photograph. But if it's someone else, it is not very, very appreciable. So the things we should keep in mind while posting on any social media is photographs should contain more of a project side, more of a beneficiary. You may blur the faces of beneficiary, but it should, by looking at the photograph, we should be able to tell or make out the project what it is. So that is very, very important for any social media. Do we post anything which is very, very personal on social media? No, we don't. Do we put any, I mean, post any photograph of our house, which is just a house? No. So it is like the Rotary is our family, and how we treat our own family. We should treat our organization just like an extended family. So whatever we post, it is exactly the projection of ourselves. So keep photograph very crisp and fine, not from the WhatsApp forwarded, because sometimes, the photographs are not clear and we cannot make out what it is. The write-up should be very, very catchy. The other day, I was just reading one book of Sudha Murthy, and I was just reading one paragraph which she was narrating, and I could make out that why she's so successful in her Infosys Foundation, not just because she is a chairman of, she's a trustee of the Infosys Foundation, but how she narrates. If you read any of her book, and if you start reading her book, it's like a story with the simple language, how she narrates, how she explains, how she starts and how she ends. It is so very compelling story she writes, and that is how she's been so popular and so successful in her work, whatever we do. So we'll have to be uh, very compassionate storyteller, because it's something what we say that, okay, when we do our project in Rotary, we are doing this also, we are doing that. Unless and until it is emotional touch has been there in the stories, people are not very, very interested to listen to it. So the story should be such that it should be interesting, it should be compelling, it should have some emotion, so that the other person will be able to have the feelings what we do. So maybe the person who's reading it or looking at the story or the photograph may be interested to join or to give CSR fund or the fund from the project. So that is one thing, that storytelling should be so emotional. The other thing what I feel is that we sometimes just uh, forget to ask people to share. Now here 106 participants are there, and I think so. In my profile, my Facebook profile, I have probably, for example, 5,000 friends, and if I share whatever you have posted, any of you have posted, it will go to 5,000 people. Likewise, if 106 people start sharing the other person or what we do, the outreach is so very big. It is beyond our imagination. And later you can do a analysis on the impact. How do we do it? If you post something, and after posting something, if you have a random call for your project, then it is a successful write-up what you have posted. And me myself have done this impact analysis of our I have started something like People of Action campaign in my profile and on the Arpic. So every time when I post, and when I share and when I ask somebody, people have started literally writing below and replying those People of Action posters. So likewise, there are so many other things which we can be able to do through public image on the social media, on LinkedIn, on Instagram, on FB, and the most important is our website. Many of the times it is so very neglected that we forget to update our website of a probably since ages we have not updated. So that also gives a negative impact. If our own tool, if you do not update, then people would think that, oh, okay, this organization has some loopholes, right? Or this club is not functioning properly. There is no coordination between the previous president, the current president. There is something wrong. So I request you all that if you have uh, your club website, please update it regularly. And if you don't have, then make it one, because again, I would just give my examples because it is the best example I would give. Few years back, we have had rather 3 members looking at our website. I mean, we have 10, that time we in Baroda, where I live in Gujarat, we used to have 10 clubs. So they were very confused that which to join, because if somebody gets transferred or they're new to Baroda, they how would they judge that which club we should go? So they started searching online and they could find Rotary Club of Baroda Metro. And uh, maybe because we have one PRID in our club, it flashes the first because he is very, very active on social media. And that person went on the, I mean, logged into our website and saw our projects, and he was very, very much interested. So he came literally and joined our club. So this is the impact of the updated Rotary website. What I urge everyone to do it. I think so. That's it from my side. I have talked too much probably, and the subject is so wide that I can keep on talking, but then it will give a negative public image of mine. So I'll just stop here. And thank you so much, Naren, for inviting, and thank you so much for patient listening.
Thank you, Pinky ji. Honestly, like Pinky ji can talk for hours together on the topic because she is a master in the public image part. So, friends, but let's focus on today's topic. We have a good speaker called Shweta. I'll just get Shweta onto the screen. A very short introduction of Shweta, so I'll not spend more time because let the forum be handled by Shweta. Shweta is a personal branding strategist, a LinkedIn coach, and a consultant. She strongly believes a personal brand is not created by chance but through a conscious, consistent effort. So remember, she enables CXOs, founders, professionals, freelancers, trainers, and coaches to build their brand and organically grow by leveraging the LinkedIn platform. So that means we actually have an advantage today because she's going to help us in terms of branding our Rotary Club in a better level. So she helps clients to achieve better visibility. That's what we need in Rotary. Expert positioning, higher credibility, and get organic inbound leads. To her number, she has more than 10,000 individuals she's already helped in the LinkedIn platform in building their own business, and consulted more than 50 plus corporate leaders on the personal branding. And for us, she's Anne from Rotary Club of Thane Hills. That is most important for us because so she's part of Rotary family. So she's not an outsider here. So over to you, Shweta. So the platform is yours now.
Thank you so much, Naren. Thank you, all of you Rotary leaders who are there in the room for trusting me. And this is the first ever session where the summary has happened and elaborating is going to be done by me. So thank you so much, Pinky, for setting the platform right. And I am invariably going to quote Pinky today in my session, because she has brought out some keen pointers which are really important to discuss today. Because of paucity of time, I'm just giving a heads up that it's not going to be a tutorial of sorts wherein I'm going to tell you everything about कि ऐसे जाओ, ऐसे बनाओ, ऐसे करो. No, that's not the purpose of today's discussion. The purpose is to be blatantly honest with you, to unnerve you, to nudge you, so that you take some action on after this session. That's if out of these 115 people present in the room, even if 50% takes action, I'll be more than happy, because that is not something that we would only help Rotary, we would also help ourselves to build a strong personal brand. Now, I will just quickly start with my presentation. Just allow me to share and let me know if it's visible. So team, can you give me a heads up if it is visible?
Yes, it is. But presenters view में है, उसको आप ये change कर दो ना view.
ठीक है.
Try sharing it now. अभी screen share नहीं. Yes, perfect.
So before I start the conversation, I want team, can you put out the first poll, please, so that I understand who all are in the room, how we are placed when it comes to awareness about LinkedIn and presence on LinkedIn. So guys, there's a Rotary India app, all of you are using, I presume. So I want 100% answer on this poll to help me understand how we are placed when it comes to your presence on LinkedIn and your utilization of that platform. Brilliant. How many people have attempted? Just the 65. Guys, if you can just invest in using this poll and casting your vote, it will really help us to get some data points and also work towards refining this data as we go further. 76 out of 110. We can keep this for another 30 seconds, I believe, Pranav, and then, we'll move ahead because we are already short of time.
Okay.
So we have considerable amount of people who have voted, and the results, you can end the poll and show the results, Pranav, so that it's evident to the people in the room that how and when we should start leveraging LinkedIn. The first and foremost, which makes me a little unhappy, because I presume all of you are leaders, corporate leaders, founders, professionals in some capacity, right? And if you still do not have a LinkedIn platform, this is something that we should start taking action like as soon as now, because LinkedIn is not just a social media platform. LinkedIn is the world's largest global networking platform. So whether we leverage it for Rotary or not, we have to be, as professionals, be present on LinkedIn, and not just be present, eventually leverage LinkedIn for the fullest. I'm not saying that just because I'm a LinkedIn coach and consultant. I'm saying that because that's the need of the hour. It's inevitable. This is not something that we can, do without. What happens is, in the inner circle, whether it is the Chamber of Commerce that you represent, or whether it is Rotary that you're part of, everybody knows everybody and everybody talks about everybody, and we start believing that we are pretty famous and everybody knows us. But if we venture out in the world of in the world of LinkedIn or globally, there are 900 million professionals. And I am sure that 900 million is not the the number that everybody knows everybody, right? So we kind of have this misbelief, so as to say, and we are in a echo chamber of sorts, that okay, mujhe to sab jante hain, I don't need to be on LinkedIn. That's not correct in my opinion, and that's the reason I nudge you to be on LinkedIn. I have seen past 3 years that I've been working as a consultant, I've seen this, that lot of people have started focusing this as a more serious platform. Back in the day when LinkedIn started, it was more of a resume portal, but not anymore. Past 10 years, LinkedIn itself is aggressively working towards making it more creator oriented, supporting people who are active on LinkedIn, and inventing very many features to facilitate better networking. So my humble request to everyone is, if you guys do not have a LinkedIn profile, please make it now. If you do have a LinkedIn profile, and if you have not updated on the Rotary India app, you are missing out big time. As Pinky already mentioned, that what if you have had a ProLid and there are so many Rotary India users already, अगर एक दूसरे के लिंक्डइन पे आप कनेक्ट करने लगोगे, एक दूसरे के कंटेंट को आप सपोर्ट करने लगोगे, तो हाउ मच ऑफ एन आउटरीच दैट योर कंटेंट एंड योर प्रोफाइल कैन ब्रिंग टू द टेबल, just by helping each other out. This is such a huge network which you are not leveraging as an engagement pod or as a support system to build a better outreach globally. So I believe that the first thing, if you do have a LinkedIn profile, please go and update that LinkedIn profile on the Rotary India app now. If you do not have a LinkedIn profile, create one and then update it. Now, when I'm saying you do not have a LinkedIn profile, my reference is your personal profile. I'm not yet talking about the club representation, because people will buy you before they buy your club. So whatever services or whatever projects that you wish to promote or get CSR funds for, or anything of that sort of, bring networking. You've heard the success stories from Pinky. If you want to do something like this, personal profile will be the driver to drive traffic to your website, your club website. It will be the driver to drive traffic to your LinkedIn page of the club if you have one. So all that is not something that will be done by a company page or done, website padi hai. You have to take this initiative to drive traffic to that place. Once people see what you're doing, then only they'll be able to help you out. If you're not visible, chances that you will have to really invest a lot in building credibility. So visibility comes first, then credibility. And if you are visible and if you're credible, profitability will happen. So my urge to you guys is that don't take from now on, go with a clean slate, take LinkedIn as the world's largest global networking platform. And I quote this more often, that when you're on LinkedIn, it's a digital representation of your professional reputation. So when anybody wants to meet you, the first thing that they're going to do is Google you. And if you have an active LinkedIn profile, that means that particular link is going to be in your searches. Try and Google your name as of now. Maybe because you are in the news of Rotary, there might be some links, but other than that, do you have your LinkedIn profile throwing up in your searches? That is something that a general layman would like to find. Now, before I begin, talking about how on LinkedIn you should be engaging and interacting, it's not just that you are a spokesperson of this particular Rotary Club. You are a leader in yourself, and people will trust you, trust in your vision, trust in what you wish to do when it comes to, enabling your club and overall the Rotary organization as such. They will have to start looking up to you as a leader. And as Pinky also quoted, that it is important that we start showcasing that, and not just using LinkedIn or any other social media for that matter to act as a billboard, that okay, we are doing this, we are doing this, we are doing this. what is the thought behind, what is the intent behind, what is the story behind all this. We need to actually bring that out. Team, can you just please put the next poll? I would humbly request everybody to participate now, and let's make this very quick. How often do you personally share or promote Rotary Club activities on your LinkedIn profile? Now, this is specifically for people who are active on LinkedIn or who do have a profile. Now, the statistics are there in front of you. The statistics are there in front of you. I mean, it's disappointing, but we can begin to change these statistics. If we just start populating, and then again, I can't do without quoting Pinky, because she has actually nailed it and summarized it very well. If we start sharing, and everybody else in our community, in our club, in our inner circle starts resharing it, just imagine the level of outreach that our content or our efforts and our vision to create an impact through Rotary will happen. I recently heard that there is a dip in the Rotary membership. Now, obviously, it's going to be because we have not showcased the platform as an impact creation platform where we are really doing something meaningful. All that it comes out is that, okay, I'm really using more from the fellowship perspective and not from the impact perspective. So I believe that if we are on LinkedIn and if we are leaders, it is our duty of sorts to actually start sharing whatever we are doing. And not only that, we have to also voice our opinion, voice our thoughts, and emerge as a thought leader, because that's when people will start taking us seriously. And also when you are planning to network, get funds, everything else, your persona is what is going to drive all that to your club, not the other way around. It's not the reputation of your club that is going to bring that fund. It's your reputation, it's your thought leadership that's going to drive that. And if this is the way it should be, I believe the first step is you start engaging on LinkedIn very often, start sharing whatever projects that you're doing, start reaching out to people and asking for help if you need, because not everything, how good a leader you are, it is also essential for a good leader to start delegating. It's essential for a good leader to ask for help. It's essential for a good leader to accept that, okay, this is not my forte, and let me, bring someone in who can help me out with that, and together we can achieve that vision. Power of thought leadership is something that my core area is. So when I engage with leaders, I make it a point that it's through thought leadership that they are leveraging the platform and creating an impact. It's not about, I went and I spoke there, I met this guy, it's also about what is the message behind that. So whatever you're sharing on LinkedIn, your messaging has to be from the thought leader perspective. Guys, if you have some questions, there is a question Google form which will be floated by the team in the chats. So I would humbly request you put all your questions, and I'll try to answer as much as I can in the Q&A section, so that we can cover our ground, whatever we want to cover first. Now, what all can you share? Like you can definitely share. We spoke about, what community events that you're doing, all of that, but also talk about, what all you are doing. So I believe Pinky pointed out about a photograph. Now, when you're sharing a photograph, even if that's the only photo that you have, you can still narrate a story around it, or give some facts or data points that this is what you have been able to accomplish till now, and this is where you need help, or this is where you would want more people to start participating. So that is something that we need to start curating content around LinkedIn as a thought leader on Rotary. We cannot just do it in the club itself and start believing that it is going to amplify by itself. We will have to make that effort. You have to showcase the impact. If I see that my money is getting utilized, if I see that my money is actually making a difference at the grassroots level, if I see that whatever projects that you're doing is not a tick box exercise, that's when, I'll be able to trust you, I'll be able to invest, I will be able to gather people who can invest, I will be proactively helping you out. But that message has to come to me. I've also seen in my own club that I'm part of, that there are so many volunteers who are very silent heroes, if I may put that word. They are really, really working at the ground level. You won't see them in any of the casual meetups, so as to say, but you will always see them at places where they need volunteers and there is actual work going on. And I believe we should start encouraging these people through, whatever posts that we are doing. And also, this kind of gives a message to people out there that, okay, if this is something that you were interested in, we would love to have you in our team, and we would love to take your help in kind of executing these projects. When it comes to LinkedIn, to tickle the algorithm, because I have seen people trying it out for 1 month, 2 months, and then, there is nothing happening and you lose the momentum. Number one, there's a heads up to everyone in the room. LinkedIn is pretty organic and archaic. Now, it is both the strength and the weakness of the platform. Why strength is you cannot really play around with it. You have to be very consistent and put in that effort to kind of succeed on that platform. And the best part is that that particular aspect of LinkedIn actually is helping LinkedIn to remain authentic as much as it can. And of late, I have seen internally LinkedIn focusing too much on taking people off the ground who are creating nuisance, who are utilizing this platform just to hard sell. LinkedIn definitely encourages people who are here to stay, who are here to create an impact, who are here to genuinely network. And to tickle the algorithm per se, you need to create a variety of content, not just to tickle the algorithm, also to engage your community. When it is a monologue, how much interesting it is, at some point in time, people want to have a dialogue. And that's where, leveraging different kind of content will be really helpful. Also, there are different kind of people liking different kind of content. For instance, some people like text based content, they are readers. Some people like video, listening to a video and it's easily comprehensible, it's understandable. Some people like very data driven kind of a post. So we can also tap into the liking of our audience when we are using different kind of content strategy. So from algorithm perspective and from engagement perspective, both these things help. Now, LinkedIn also has LinkedIn events. LinkedIn has LinkedIn audio events. All these features, which were premium features, now are free to use. And I believe that there's a lot of discussions that can happen on LinkedIn. There's a lot of activities that you can do and just not post. You can actually do very many things to build thought leadership. You can have LinkedIn. I will take you live and show you. There are ample amount of when I typed Rotary in the LinkedIn search bar, and I was amused that I saw so many Rotary groups are there. I don't know whether you guys are even aware of it or you're part of it. There are so many LinkedIn events happening on LinkedIn, so many Rotary events which are registered on LinkedIn, and I'll show you around that. So if you have say a blood donation drive, or if you have an event which where people can participate, you should actually start promoting that event. Post-event photos, testimonials, impact statistics. Now, if you're helping out some remote school students and helping them out to kind of in their education journey, if you have testimonials, if you have data points, the impact is there for everyone to see. You don't really have to prove anything. And most importantly, you can leverage LinkedIn events also to start gathering traffic to your either club website or to whichever event that you want people to call for. Team, can we have the third poll, please? This is the last one, I promise. I will not nudge you for more polls. How do you primarily use LinkedIn in relation to your role as a Rotary Club leader? So if you look at the poll, I am refining. So people who have never used LinkedIn will not be able to answer this question. But if you are mainly for personal or professional development, not directly related to the club, even if you're using it, and pardon me for being this blunt, but we are here to improve. So even if I have seen people using Rotary, they are using it to showcase them as a leader and not talk about the organization per se, or talk about the collective effort. See, when you are actually wanting to be a thought leader, it is not you who's going to pronounce yourself as a thought leader. It is the people who are going to follow your thoughts and pronounce you as a thought leader. So that's where there is a disconnect. And we strongly need to leverage our personal profile to amplify our club's voice, our club's vision, and take it to the next level. It's not the other way around, that you're using your LinkedIn, your Rotary Club activities to promote your grandness. That's something that's, in my opinion, is not entirely right. And you have to utilize talking about what all your club has accomplished via your platform. And as again, I'm quoting her, Pinky mentioned that it's important that we have some, either a WhatsApp group or any other methodology where we can share our posts and everybody get to know, okay, this is something that say Naren has posted, and we can look at those posts and engage. When each of us engage and show our support in that post, what happens is our networks get tickled. So if I am engaging on Naren's post, my 16,000 plus people, not all of them will get notified, but it will help broaden the outreach. In your own zone, till the time you accept more connections, you cannot have that outreach. So this is, I mean, whether it is, I had given one session with BNI also, and I recollect that organizations like these have this plus point, so as to say, where you already have people who know you, who know what work you're doing, and are ready to vouch for it. And when I had Am I audible now?
Yeah, yeah.
So, okay, something with internet. I believe I'm audible now. Okay.
Yes, you are.
My first encounter with Rotary and its presence on LinkedIn happened when I created Dr. Mahesh Kudbagi's profile. And when I did that, I realized that people have not mentioned, there are so many Rotarians who have not yet mentioned that they are part of Rotary anywhere in their profile. And it's so unfortunate, because if I just type Rotary, and if all of you all have mentioned Rotary as part of your organization, either as a volunteer or as officiating person, then you come in the alumni list anyhow, and a lot of interaction can happen. That same thing is applicable when you are uploading your LinkedIn profile on the Rotary India app, and you start connecting with each other. In no time, you would have capped 30,000 connections just by doing that. And as again, Minky mentioned that while you're Rotarian, you're also a professional. And there's so much that we can start leveraging from within the community itself. So connect with other Rotary clubs, engage with other presidents, engage with Rotary International's official page. All of that, I'm not even talking about leveraging LinkedIn outside of Rotary. Just moving from internal communication to taking that Rotary on LinkedIn itself can amplify your voice like nothing. When you are on this journey, I would request that don't be very random. Have a proper methodology to your presence on LinkedIn, because that's where you will start seeing your ROI, so to say, when you're investing your time, effort, energy in showcasing your thought leadership on LinkedIn and also helping Rotary club activities to get showcased, it is important that it cannot be random. There has to be a method to all your content and why you're doing what you're doing. So if I am a leader and I'm representing a Rotary club, it is a mix of what my thoughts are and what the club stands for. But when it is somebody else, it's going to be, so the mix has to come out in your messaging. That's what I'm suggesting. Don't lose the individuality and don't use your content only to showcase, okay, this is what our club is doing. For that, you can definitely use the club page if you have one. Tips and best practices, post regularly, but if the consistency is taking over quality, you can remain with a 2 posts in a week kind of a consistency, that's fine, but remain consistent with that consistency is what I will urge everyone. Encourage club members to share and engage with posts, use relevant hashtags for wider reach. You can have, if all of you all in a particular club decide to leverage this platform and work towards it, in no time the hashtag say RCTH, for example, hashtag RCTH, I can simply say, you just Google hashtag RCTH and you'll get to know what this club is doing. It's like, you have the repository in the cloud if you're using the right hashtags. Also with hashtags, like if you are looking out for funding for a specific project, if you are aiming at a particular industry domain, so to say, then those hashtags can help your content found on the searches. So when random people are searching for those through those hashtags, chances are that you can be found. One common problem that I have observed with leaders while working with leaders is, ज्यादा तो नहीं हो जाएगा, बहुत loud तो नहीं लगेगा, what will people think, what if somebody has a negative comment. So these are some of the reservations that people have, and my answer to that is, if you cannot come out and talk to people in the open, either you are not authentic or you are not a leader per se. So it's very important that we all learn to, I guess, Rotarians are more known for this. You learn to ignore things that are not creating any positive impact in the journey of your presidentship or whatever officiating position that you have. So today, all those, if I remember the number correctly, some 90 odd people who are not on LinkedIn, or it was less, I guess. So those many people, please create your profile. And if you guys have profile, please update your profile. Have a dedicated club website. Why? Because kal ko agar LinkedIn band ho gaya India mein, to kya karenge? All that action that you have taken, all that thought leadership that you have built should not go in vain. So all your efforts should get you registered somewhere. It becomes the nucleus of what all you did while you served. And dedicate a separate team or individual. It can be from your team, it can be from your family, anyone, and commit to a content calendar. Trust me, if you do not have a process, all that enthusiasm will die down in no time. So you need to have a process in place. I don't know how much time we have. Can I take 30 seconds to introduce myself? Will that, because why the hell you are even listening to me? Will that be okay? Give me an answer because I can't see people. I'll take that as a yes. So a little about me. I have a very funny story. I don't know whether I should call it funny, but yeah, I have a very interesting story. I did my PG way back in 97, 98. I was a homemaker for 20 plus years. I still am a homemaker, and got married to a quintessential Marwari household and never picked up a career. And it so happened that somewhere around 2014, my husband used to work with MNC, so we had a lot of money. So I decided to go for Everest Base Camp. And in that camp, one of my, co-trekker, we were engaging, and for 18, 19 days, we were conversing. And when I came back, his wife reached out, say, we are running an HR consulting firm and we would want to hire you. And I was like, oh, wow, I am not even contemplating to work. And from there, my journey began as an employee, and from there to a consultant as a freelancer. And now I'm also employing people in my team. So when I started working with this organization, since it was B2B, I was using LinkedIn, but I was more of a consumer and doing everything wrong that I preach people not to do now. But that good part that I did was that I was active on LinkedIn, and eventually people started noticing me, my work. And I thought that if a person like me with practically no work experience, at the age of 41 starting her career, at the age of 45 starting consulting, can do something out of this platform and can add so much value to my audience. You guys have rich experiences. You guys have so much to share, both from your social enterprise point of view, from your own work that you do. And if you are not utilizing this platform to the fullest, I mean, it makes me feel sad. And that's the intent of why I'm doing what I'm doing. That if not anything, please do it to leave a legacy. You guys are leaders in your own respect, and utilize this platform to leave a legacy, help other people. Even while, officiating any club or whatever, if you can share stories about how your journey has been, being part of Rotary, and what all you've seen growing in yourself and things around you. So all those things can be really, really a useful read for a lot of people and can educate a lot of people. So I would thank you for listening, first of all. And if this has actually nudged you ki main kar sakti hu to koi bhi kar sakta hai, is what my intent of this slide is. Now, if you guys are serious in getting to know the real nuances of how you should leverage the platform, how you should actually create a personal brand roadmap for yourself, how you should be leveraging the platform, what are the different features that you can leverage, small nuances about connection strategy, content strategy, all that will be covered in this masterclass, which is a 4-hour masterclass. Definitely, it can set you up for doing things on your own. But I do also provide one-on-one consulting, and I do also manage profiles for people who have bandwidth issues. So I write content on their behalf, and that's what I do for a living. I'm also invited for corporate trainings where, like for instance, recently we were hired by Flipkart. So all the leaders of Flipkart, we've been providing content for LinkedIn and overall personal branding per se. So anything in that domain, if there is any need, you can reach out to me. And this is, team, can you please share the link as well in the comments, in the chat, so that people can, if they wish to register. This is priced exclusively at $599 for this particular room. It is going to go off by tonight, 12 in the midnight. So if you wish to take this offer at this price point, I would love to have you in the masterclass. This is on 19th, 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. I can speak for 4 hours continuously. That's it from me. I would love to take questions. If we have, where can I find the questions? Let me just stop sharing. There were some hand raised that I saw in between. Let me just go and check it was pretty much a monologue, so I want to also see कि कोई सो रहा था या कोई देख रहा था. So let me just check if we have questions.
Yeah, BKK 3192 Bangalore. There's a yeah.
Yeah, good evening, ma'am.
You can call me Shweta, please.
Okay, Shweta ji, you gave an excellent insight into social media. if I may ask you a couple of more social media where we can interact like this, like LinkedIn, which one you suggest? One or two more?
So for thought leadership, the platforms that I highly recommend is Twitter and LinkedIn primarily. But for outreach, you can use Instagram. Facebook is pretty much dead, in my opinion. We can skip that. It's more of a hygiene thing, visibility thing. But for people to actually come to you and help you, or engage, Twitter and LinkedIn for thought leadership is what I would recommend highly.
Thank you, ma'am.
And there's one footnote here. Individually, all the leaders, in my opinion, should have their own personal website, so that what all you do as a thought leader, both in your professional and in your social enterprise domain, can be captured nicely in a website, and it becomes a nucleus for you as a thought leader. So what I'm recommending is like ashwetaoja.com. My website is yet to go up, but that's what I'm suggesting. Also, things like writing a book, or things like starting a podcast, all these are additional ways of building thought leadership. This particular suggestion is not only from the Rotary standpoint, I'm talking right now from the personal standpoint as well.
Yeah. Here is Kailash from RC New Kalyan. I'm the president right now today, this year. My question is that you talked about using the LinkedIn personal account also to promote Rotary initiatives. So, and you said that you should tag, not tag, or you can go to communities and select Rotary as a community where you belong to. So I have done it, but I don't know, is it right way to do it or not? So I can tell you that on LinkedIn, so if you correct me if I'm wrong, so under volunteering, I have mentioned that Rotary International and my focus area is environmental health and safety management.
Okay. So that works. So what you're perhaps telling me is, यहाँ पे आपने mention किया है in your volunteering.
Yes, yes,
So
correct.
if yes, you can do that, and there are ways where I can show you if you get one-on-one. There are ways where you can also mention that during this particular time frame, I was officiating this position. So
Okay.
that can also be explicitly mentioned here. And
Where I can mention that over there same over there in volunteering itself.
नो हाँ, सो ये लाइसेंस सर्टिफिकेशन है, वॉलंटियरिंग है, उसके बाद नीचे एक और वो आता है सेक्शन where you can mention your officiating position. I'll tell you what it is. Add projects. You can add projects here, whatever projects that you have done on behalf of your thing. You can add anything that you've published on behalf. You can add organization. This is where you can add Rotary, and you can add what all officiating position that you were holding while you were part of this organization.
Okay, sure.
So you
Thanks.
can add those profile sections. So one thing that I wanted to show you guys, and before I missed out, and when I typed Rotary here, this is, I don't know whether you're even aware of this group. So there is this group, and there are many groups. So if you just type Rotary and see, there are ample amount of LinkedIn groups that you can see. If you just go to groups, like 2,300 results have come up. So there are so many groups. If you are just being part of any particular group that you find relevance in, there is so much, like Rotary Peace Fellowship Alumni Association, members of Rotary International. There's so much that we can network inside the Rotary community itself. Then if you type Rotary, and if you go to, say, events, this is inside the results. So the 22 jo aaya tha response, that was inside the group. So groups who are organizing events were 22. If I'm putting Rotary here generally, and I'm choosing events, 22 events that you can see are put up on the LinkedIn platform. So if you have an event where you have people who can come and visit, you can showcase your events via LinkedIn and populate it and amplify its presence more so. if you see, I had penned down certain things. So these are the people I have typed Rotary here, and I've chosen people. These are the people who talk about Rotary. So this is the way you can actually find people from Rotary to begin your journey, because they will be instantaneously relating with you and more likely to accept your connection request and eventually do business. And within the Rotary, we have so much to network, both from our professional standpoint and from Rotary standpoint. So we should, I believe, I'm reiterating it, we should leverage. So this is the profile that I'd made. I actually happened to meet Mr. Kotbagi, Dr. Kotbagi in person very recently, and I nudged him कि sir profile तो बन गया पर आगे कुछ हो नहीं रहा है. So I really want people like him or thought leaders in the room to actually start working towards leveraging this platform. Any other question that we may have?
Shweta,
Yes.
can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
I'm Rupen Doshi from Bombay Pier 3141.
Yes,
My
sir.
understanding is that there seems to be a very thin line between building my personal brand and that of my club. So is it okay if these lines blur and if one is used to leverage the other? And if yes, then how?
The only thing, definitely it can be done, to answer your question first, because the person who's officiating and doing the club activity is you at the end of the day. So whether you're representing your organization or whether you're representing your club is one and the same. So you can definitely interchangeably leverage it. But one thing which we need to be mindful of, that there has to be coherence in your presence in both places. It should not be completely different. So you're a different person when you're talking about your personal space or professional space, and when you're a different person when you're talking about that, should be avoided in. So then only I'll be able to trust you as a leader, if there is complete coherence in what you are sharing. When I say this, I mean the tonality in which you share, the topics that you usually pick up, your perspectives about things, that has to be common.
So Shweta, if I'm talking about business, if I'm wearing my professional hat, it'll be more to do with my office work and business. If I'm talking about my personal space, there may be other things. And Rotary will be all about the social service. So how do we make that common denominator happen?
What messaging, the manner in which you put out your messages will help me judge your personality, will help me judge your attitude, will help me judge how you, where are you coming from, and that will anchor my trust in you. That's the thing. That, so for instance, if you're talking about, say, sustainability, I'll just take an example here. Now, if you're talking about sustainability, your perspectives can't be entirely different from when you're wearing a professional hat or when you're representing your club. And that's where the coherence will come.
Got it. Thank you.
Thank you. Any question? I'll just check.
Yeah, just wait.
It is very important to have great professional experience to showcase or enhance my Rotary. I guess Kalita has.
Sanjay ji, we're not able to hear you. I think there's some issue with your mic. Can't hear you, sir.
Dr. Sanjay, if you may just type your question in the chat.
Yeah, you can. I'll send the link again on. Oh, yeah. Now we can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. So, ma'am, just a while ago, you mentioned that the other powerful platform is Twitter. I'm also in the same business of digital, etc. So, have you also noticed that since Twitter became X, the reach has fallen by about, if not more, about 1/4. I have some 16,000 followers on Twitter. So earlier, average tweet would also reach about 2,500 a reach. Okay. Today, the average reach is about 500. Have you noticed this phenomenon in your case too?
Because attention has gone to threads, and people are still exploring different platforms. And when number of platforms increase, there is only this much that you can do when it comes to populating it on multiple platforms. And that's where the attention has gotten a little shifted. Again, with the whims and fancies of Elon G, people, the trust on the platform is also reducing. So yes, but I would not comment on the how long it's going to last or how ye oont kis karvat baithega, if I may put that Hindi proverb here. But it is still useful than Facebook is what I would recommend. Facebook is you can use it for visibility perspective, but from positioning as a thought leader, I think Facebook does no good.
That's absolutely true. That's right.
You
Thank
know.
you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Doctor. Any other question that we may have? Pranav, can you read me any questions that there was one question that I saw? I would like to answer that in the sheet.
Yeah, madam, this is Prashant
Yes, Prashant.
from Bangalore 3191. This has been a very, very useful. I sent a one-on-one message to you. Shame on me that after using 20 years, LinkedIn very, very heavy. This thought did not cross my mind. This is a very useful, I would say, direction and input. How do we reach you to take some additional advice?
The best way to reach me is to connect me on LinkedIn, but I'll just put in my coordinates here. So there's an email that you can always reach out to me. Connect@shwetaojha.com. Maybe Pranav, if you are sending mailers, you can also share these coordinates. I will also share my social media links.
Yes,
sure. In the mailers. So people, all of you all who have attended, you will receive an email basically capturing all the insights that we've discussed. And I would share the masterclass link and my coordinates also for anyone who wishes to reach out to me.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Prashant. What about Google page and its traction for a Rotary club? Gitanjali's question. When anybody Googles your Rotary club, Googles your club name, and Google My Business is largely to see the presence of business entities. I definitely, it will help amplify, but it will not help you build thought leadership. Again, I'm boiling down to that. So club activities promote करने के लिए, club credibility या Google searches में आने के लिए, you can have Google My Business, but it will not help you network. So there is what this session is not recommending is that there's either or. You should be on LinkedIn and nowhere else. No, that's not what I'm recommending. What I'm recommending is do not use LinkedIn just as another social media platform. Use it for thought leadership and use it for globally networking with right kind of people. That's what the essence of this is. So if you guys have any doubts in terms of ye karna chahiye ya ye sab karna chahiye, but where our objective is, we should focus our attention there. So if our objective is some key projects which need CSR funding, then I believe LinkedIn is the place to be. We have one more question. Isn't Instagram more popular for the next generation? Should we focus on it than LinkedIn? Senith, I would say that if next gen is your target audience, you should definitely focus on Instagram. But your reputation, when it comes to that, I will look for LinkedIn, because there's only that much that you can look into in a Instagram profile. Vis-a-vis LinkedIn profile can give a more give me a better insight as a viewer or as a visitor, that what all you've done in the past and help build credibility there. So LinkedIn profile, just by viewing a profile, I can gauge so much about you. As far as attracting attention is concerned, when you have multiple touch points, you can actually help LinkedIn traffic go to your Instagram and Instagram traffic coming to your LinkedIn. So again, I'm reiterating that it's not either or. But so I had a very recent interaction with a lady who is manufacturing beauty products. Now, beauty products, if she's only on LinkedIn, it's incorrect. She'll not survive to kind of amplify her business. She has to be on Instagram, maybe on YouTube as well. But then when people are trying to connect with her professionally, it's LinkedIn where people will be looking at her. Look, so that's where the importance of the platform is. I hope, Senit, this answers your question. There's one more question. It is very important to have great professional experience to showcase or enhance my Rotary Club. Not really. So I'm a live example. So if I become a president someday, I'm not aiming at that, gunning at that, but I'm just hypothetically mentioning I do not have years and years of experience or professional acumen. It's the person behind the job title is what you have to showcase on LinkedIn. And once you are good at that, nothing else matters. These are the questions on the sheet. Any other question anyone wants to take up live, or we can close this then? I hope this was helpful, and I hope to see many people in the masterclass, because I will look at it as a call to action, people who are very action oriented, and Rotary does have people who are very action oriented. So I would love that. If it was helpful, kuch achhe shabd bhi likh dijiye. If it is not helpful, honest feedback I love. So I would be happy to hear. Again, I would have loved to go into great detail, but I thought that the first session was to just nudge people to show them the importance of the platform. Is Pinky around? So I would have to ask her whether I did justice or not.
Thank you so much for a wonderful session, Shwetaji. I'll just get Pinky ji also online. 1 second. Pinky ji, are you there?
I think she's left. That's why I couldn't see her. Thank you for having me. And I hope to see a lot of Rotary movement happening. 1.5 lakh log move करने लग गए LinkedIn पे तो बहुत कुछ हो सकता है.
Of course.
Yeah.
So if there is any other question, please put in your questions in the form. We'll probably get in some way to answer it later on. So I think there are none for now. So let's close the session. Thank you so much again. And I hope whatever you taught, like a lot of people would follow over here, actually create their accounts, because I could see that a lot of people did not have accounts on LinkedIn at all. So the first step is they start creating accounts, start getting more active, and then probably, start posting more about their activities, about Rotary, plus about their own organization over there.
True. Even I'm looking forward to receiving a lot of connection requests and start to, engage on their posts. So that's my help that I can offer. Thank you so much for having me. Bye. Have a great evening.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಬರ್ದಿದ್ಯಲ್ಲ